Hey everybody. So in this video I'm going to explain to you why I don't do crypto videos, and 4 things that I've believed for a very long time, years in fact, haven't all come at once. I didn't wake up one morning and think, oh, I've got 4 things that I now believe in. It's just through a series of reading, researching for years. I'm then going to talk about the US Strategic Reserve. And then finally, I'm going to talk to you about why Bitcoin is so fragile. I mean, ridiculously sitting on a piece of glass fragile, and how it could easily go to zero in 24 hours, 48 hours, and XRP could go vertical. And it's a theory that I haven't seen anybody discussing. Now, you make your mind up whether you think that's because it's a load of rubbish, but quite often in life, the simplest things are the most obvious. So, let's get into it. First and foremost, I don't make crypto videos. I'm just a guy living in southern Russia, UK resident. And yeah, my videos really are about life here in Russia. They're not crypto related. I did one crypto video a little while ago about XRP being the biggest scam in crypto, and a lot of people didn't understand the video, and they've called me out as being an XRP hater, and I don't know what I'm talking about. Unfortunately, they didn't have the brain capacity to actually watch the video and realise it wasn't about XRP at all, and I'm far from an XRP hater, I can assure you, and that the video was about actually influencers just getting your clicks, and that's where they're generating the revenue. So this is why you're permanently getting these huge headlines, and you're going to get a headline for this video because obviously I want people to watch it, but that's why you see them. You know, I'm not going to be churning out 2 videos a day, 3 videos a day about crypto for the reason I explained in my other video. So if you're interested in that, go and watch it. It is titled, I think, XRP is the biggest scam in crypto. On face value, you're going to think that's about the coin. Obviously, it isn't. So I'm just putting that out there now. Go and watch it, see if you understand it. A lot of people didn't. Hey, most of them can't spell properly, so you figure it out. Anyhow, let's have a look. Let's get in. So every bull run, YouTubers come out of the woodwork. So I'm going to just tell you why perhaps what I'm going to say to you is coming from possibly a place of knowledge, and not just hot air, you know, or numbers pulled out my ass. Every bull run, you get new YouTubers, countless ones, and I'm sure you've seen them. You know, a nice headline, a fancy thumbnail, you know, glossy impact, to get your attention, and you look at who's created it and you've never heard of them. Who the hell's this guy? You know, and he's the latest guy, and he's telling you all this stuff, and he's talking about technical analysis and all of this wonderful stuff, but you've never heard of him. He's just popped up out of nowhere. Happens every bull run. When you've been in the space as long as I have, you've seen it a lot. I got into crypto, and specifically XRP, in 2016. So whether you like that or not, I've had 9 years of being in the space. So not 9 weeks or 9 months like a lot of them. Do I profess to know everything about it? No, God knows. No, absolutely not. Far from it, in fact. And most of the stuff that I learned early on, and I've switched off since then to an awful lot of stuff because it is just regurgitated. It is just putting it out into a different format just to gain clicks on a video to generate Google AdSense, which is what I've said in the previous video. So that's why I've pulled away from it. You know, you learn the basic fundamentals, you explore that, and then it's really up to the individual how much you want to know. I needed to know as much as I needed to know to confirm to me what I believe in with XRP. So that's that out the way. There are 4 things that I believe and have believed for a long time. Now, I didn't wake up on a Thursday morning going, oh, I've just thought of 4 things. They've come gradually over time and through lots of reading, lots of research. So I'm just going to run through them. Some of them you might agree with, some of them you won't. A couple of them I was talking about with friends of mine and other people with crypto years ago, long before it was fashionable. And you'll see what I mean as I get into them. So these are the 4 things first. So I believe the US government created Bitcoin. Now, we can probably have hours and hours of debate as to why. This isn't the purpose of this video. I'm not going to debate these points. I'm just going to tell you these are the 4 things I believe in. To me, it just stacks and makes sense. Everything about the whole Satoshi Nakamoto being one man just doesn't stack, just doesn't make sense. Just doesn't, you know, no matter how you look at it. You know, the technical ability to do all of that, and for it to be coming from one person, it just, yeah, I mean, let's not bother. But that's my belief. You know, I can't be bothered to discuss it. It's just my belief. You can take it or leave it. It doesn't really matter. The second thing, not necessarily in any particular order, but I believe that the XRP lawsuit is an audit. Just step back from that for a minute and just think about it. What other coin has gone through this? I'll wait. Why? Why have they gone through every last nut, bolt, screw and washer? What better way than to drag it through the court and get everything uncapped and revealed? And what's happened? Ripple has come out looking squeaky clean, apart from, you know, some nonsense which we all know about. But again, you know, the purpose of this video isn't to dive into these theories. I'm just explaining the 4 things that I believe in. So I believe it's an audit. I believe that that's part of the process to getting XRP to where it's going to go, where it's going to be. The third thing is, I think and believe that the US government wants the XRP escrow. Again, I've believed that for a long time. I believe that that would be part of a settlement and various things. So I believe that that's, you know, that's a high probability. That's still on the table. Absolutely. And the 4th thing, I believe that Jeff Bezos is part of the Ethereum disguised whales. He's one of them. And again, this is a theory that I've had for years. This isn't just a recent theory. These things I've had in my mind for a long time, and I haven't seen anything to tell me that I'm miles wrong on those 4 things. Anything at all, to be honest. So those are the 4 things that I've sort of have in the back of my mind. Whether you agree with them or not doesn't really matter, you know, but it might be something that you can look at and think, actually, or you might just think, no, he's talking a load of rubbish. Yeah, who knows? I'm 9 years into the space. Maybe I know nothing. Who knows? So those are the 4 things that, like I say, I've had in my head for a long time. And, you know, I won't say I live and eat and sleep and breathe XRP every day, because I don't anymore. I used to. I definitely did. You know, it was just a case of finding out as much as I can and diving down as many rabbit holes. But as soon as you start getting to the technicals about how it works and all that, I'm not interested. I used to set up suspension on motorbikes, and I was very successful at doing it. Very successful. And you could put me up against, you know, big companies, and this has happened, and I've outperformed them with my setup. And it's not because I knew much more than them. I knew far less than them. But the difference was I didn't know about all of the technical bits and pieces, you know, shims, thicknesses, the weight of the oil, air gaps, all of this stuff was like, and I didn't want to know it. I deliberately didn't want to know it. Because what I discovered was with motorbikes, with all of the people that were setting up suspension, they would dive into all of this information. And when you're a top flight team and you've got all the computers and all of the data and you've got real technical guys, then that's a different level. But just under that level, you just end up cabbaging yourself with too much information. And then when you have a problem, you have 200 places to go in where to fix that problem. Oh, it might be that I've got the wrong shims in the fault leg, or I've got the wrong weight oil, or I haven't set the air gap correctly, or I need to change the spring rate, or all of these scenarios. So your head's darting everywhere. Whereas if you haven't got all of that technical information, you rely on just some basic fundamental stuff like, how's the tyre wearing? What does the bike do on track? What's the rider telling me? You know, all of these simple things, and you can work it out from that. And I was very successful in doing that. And like I say, there were guys that knew far more than me that just ran around themselves and tied themselves in knots. So when it comes to learning about XRP, I specifically didn't want to learn the technical details. I don't need to know that. That doesn't, you know, I'm not a programmer. I never will be. So I don't need to know all of those technical bits. It's just going to cabbage my head with information I don't need. So I've never bothered. And to that end, I have absolutely zero interest in TA, trading analysis. Absolutely pointless. Complete waste of time. I've seen YouTuber after YouTuber being a fantastic trading analysis expert. Really? Well, all the ones I've seen talk absolute hot air. And I've seen many of them literally make actual factual statements that this is going to happen because the chart said this, this, and this. This is happening tomorrow. Blockchain backer, E-grade crypto. I've seen them all. And the opposite happens, or it doesn't happen what they say they're going to do. A complete. There's no apology. They don't come out and say, yeah, I got that wrong. Nothing. They just move on to the next video, because all they're doing is going yap, 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 yap to create a video, to get clicks on it, to generate Google AdSense revenue. Not give you any information. And the simple reason is you cannot possibly use trading analysis on an asset class that is, let's take it from, I'll tell you what, let's go back to 2009. Okay, so we're like 16 years. So 16 years maximum information in the trading market. And you're going to tell me that somebody over 16 years can predict where it's going to go based on 16 years previous performance? No. Gold is hundreds of years, and they still can't get that right. You can't predict the weather based on all of the weather data. 16 years in crypto? That's the first bit. Second bit, with crypto, it's the most manipulated market ever that exists. It is completely false. It is completely artificial. There's nothing fluid about it. There's nothing organic about it. It is completely and utterly manipulated and controlled. So how can you possibly, by looking at charts and going, oh, it went up here and it went down here, and then drawing these lines and this Fibonacci level and all that, how can that possibly predict some bloke sitting there going, do you know what, I'm just going to dump 2 million to the market because he wants to earn 10 grand to go out for lunch? And I'm being crude there, you know, don't take that literally. But what I'm trying to say is trading analysis does not work in crypto. And if you can show me somebody that gets 7 out of 10 right, please put it in the comments below. Tell me somebody that gets 7 out of 10, because that 7 out of 10, would you bet your house on that? I don't know, if you're a gambling man, maybe you would. But 7 out of 10, 2/3, it's all right, isn't it? But it's not, you know, it's not certainty by any stretch. I don't think you'll find anybody that will get 50%, let alone 7 out of 10. So please don't get wound up and wrapped up in this, you know, this trading analysis, because I've seen these guys talk absolute rubbish, get it completely wrong, and not come out and say anything. Just literally make the next video like the previous video didn't exist. So it's a complete waste of time. For that reason, and for the reason I've just outlined, 16 years in an asset class to try and predict where it goes, and it's massively manipulated. I've moved the XRP market myself by selling XRP at a certain time. And I know that I've done that because I've done it 11 times in a row. 11. I've sold, it's gone down. I've sold, it's gone down. I've sold, and I've done that 11 times in a row. Me, little old me. So I'm not interested in trading analysis, because it's a massively manipulated market. And when it is very, very volatile and it's right jittery at the top, and you know, you've just got to watch the volume and see how many XRP are being bought and sold. And when you see, like, you know, 50 XRP being bought and sold and 70 XRP, and the market is moving a little bit, it is right on a knife edge. And it's really easy to just roll it over. Really easy. So anyhow, that's that. The strategic reserve that everyone is banging on about. Bitcoin's going to be the strategic reserve. Bitcoin, 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 Bitcoin. I'm not a Bitcoin hater. I just don't believe it's the coin. I never have. It's just not it. The only reason it has got value is because the people that hold it tell you it's got value. That's like me telling you my car is worth 20 grand and getting as many people as I can to tell you it's worth 20 grand. Doesn't mean it's worth 20 grand. There is no other aspect of Bitcoin that I see that makes me believe that it will be used for anything other than store of value, which you've all heard 1,000 times and I'm bored of hearing. Because when something is so fragile, I don't see it as a store of value. I see it as a complete gamble and a complete risk. So for me, it's never been about Bitcoin. But will it get entered into strategic reserve? Maybe. But here's coming to the theory of what could happen. And this is what I want you guys to see about Bitcoin and how fragile it is. The people that are in it are telling you it's too big to fail. It cannot go wrong. There's too many people in it. There's too much money involved. There's too much this. There's too much that. Yeah. Well, you've all seen recently the way the market has reacted to Donald Trump's election and, you know, comments that he's made. It's up and down like a horse draws. Well, how about this one? Trump puts XRP into the strategic reserve, takes control of the XRP escrow. However, we could debate all night about how that's possible, whether it's through purchase, whether it's through, you know, specific lawful orders, you know, whether it's through a partnership with Ripple, who knows? But he could take what's in the escrow and put it in a strategic reserve. And before you jump down my throat and say, oh, it's in the escrow, it's on a time lock release, there's nothing to stop that time lock release being fed into a strategic reserve. In fact, I would argue that that is a good thing, because that would generate a permanent trickle of money going into a strategic reserve for at least the next 4 years. So that is you know, it could happen. You know, let's just bear with me with this scenario. So this would all have to happen in a certain order and fairly quickly. So, like I say, Trump puts XRP in a strategic reserve. They grab the escrow, or a big part of it. That drips in over the next few years, bolsters that. At the same time, the US government dumps all of their Bitcoin. And of course, your Bitcoin maxis that are watching this are going, I'm an idiot. Why would they do that? That's absolutely stupid. Well, bear with me. They dump all of their Bitcoin. 210,000, I think the US government holds. So go and have a look at the top 20 holders of Bitcoin and tell me where you see the majority of the money being held. The majority of it is US-based companies and China. So if Trump, US government, dumped all of Bitcoin, they will effectively dump it at the top of the market. It's not the all-time high, but it will be, whenever they did it, it would be the top of that market, because the market would fall off of a cliff. It would nosedive, yeah, faster than a lump of lead. So it would be a very, very easy way to put XRP into the strategic reserve, and only the US government have it, because nobody else is really big buying of XRP at the moment. Gain control of the escrow, or most of the escrow, and have it drip fed. So that's the strategic reserve, very, very cozy for the next 4 years minimum, as it's being drip fed all of this money. They gain maximum money for the Bitcoin because they crash the market, and they do maximum impact to China. So China is a serious holder of Bitcoin. So the US government could easily completely trash the market, drop it all on China. China's left there holding a baby. They can't sell their Bitcoin fast enough. This has all happened in a quick space of time. And before you know it, the US has gone from being a player in the crypto game to being the player in the crypto game. just by holding far more XRP than anybody else in strategic reserve, dumping all the Bitcoin and crashing the price. So they harm everybody that's a Bitcoin holder. Vast majority of that is, like I say, China and obviously America, the American corporations. You know, maybe they tell them that that's what they're going to do and they all dump it at the same time. But that would put Bitcoin to zero in 24, 48 hours, and it will put XRP on a path vertically. Could that happen? Yeah, it could. Yeah, absolutely could, for the reasons I've just explained. Will it happen? Well, that's the $64 million question, isn't it? I don't know. It's a theory. But as I always say with theories, yeah, it's a theory and nobody else seems to be talking about it. So whether it's something that's so absolutely mental that it's just impossible, or whether it's just people are overlooking something that's sitting right here, and that's often the case. I don't know, you guys decide. What do you think? Let me know in the comments. You know, if you want to tell me I'm a whack job, I've been called worse. I'm not worried. But like I say, I don't make crypto videos. It doesn't mean I don't know anything about crypto. I've been here since 2016, every day, eating it, sleeping it, breathing it. I've used XRP many times for the purpose, or one of the purposes that it's intended for, which is cross-border remittance. I've used it for that many times. It's been absolutely fantastic. I have used other networks and they've been ish. XLM, pretty good. The only thing I found with XLM, a little bit more of a faff and took a little bit longer. Not all the time. But there we go. That's my theory. There's so much more I could talk about with crypto, but I don't want to be making crypto videos. There's too many people doing it. You know, I'm going to be another name now that suddenly pops up. You're going to look at this because you've never heard of me and you're going to go, what's this guy talking about? Yeah, make your own mind up about that, what you think. That's my theory. Those are my 4 points that I've had in my head for a long time. And yeah, that's why I think Bitcoin really is one man's speech away from zero. Maybe that'll be the title of the video. I don't know. Anyhow, thanks for watching, guys. Appreciate your time. If you're interested in Russia, or you're curious, or you're not interested at all and you just think you know everything about Russia, same as I did before I came here, have a look at some of my other videos. It might surprise you. Anyhow, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.